Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University, and Peter Parker, the Spectacular Spider-Man, issue number 1. Okay, this surprised me. Okay, I know that this was a thing that they were trying to push. They pushed it with the back half of Free Comic Book Day, where they had Secret Empire kind of mixed in there with a brand new story. They kind of shoved this in there also, but I wasn't particularly excited about this. All right, I know a lot of people don't like Dan Slott, which, whatever, man, to each their own. But I personally, again, to each his own, I like Dan Slott's writing. I like that he's been on Spider-Man for so long. I like that he actually has the character down. And I don't know anybody offhand, current day, who can just make a new supervillain almost at the drop of a hat. And on top of that, there actually be good supervillains. But whatever. I didn't know that we actually needed this comic. But now that I read this comic, I realize that we need this comic. This is genuinely some really good stuff here, guys. This is really good reading. Chip Zdarsky, I'm going to put him on hold for a minute. Adam Kubert, I think that enough said, right? He's fantastic. He's amazing. He's really good artist in this. I love his rendering of absolutely everything that I see in this comic book. My God, man, even just that second page where you see that amazing vanishing point, skyline, the bird's eye view looking straight down. That has got to be one of the most beautifully rendered pictures ever. And it actually looks as though you're looking through a photograph in some ways, through a lens in some way. Absolutely gorgeous. This guy, if he keeps on drawing like this, first, he's not going to have any time on his hands, or maybe he's just that good. Either way, wow. Amazing. Even though it's supposed to be spectacular, it's amazing. Guys, on top of that, back to Chip. This is such a beautifully well-written story. I don't know how many stories he's got in him right now, of this caliber. I don't know how far into the future he's planned necessarily, but this comic had better not go anywhere. If this comic disappears after 5 issues, I'm not joking. I may very well just boycott Marvel because that's how good this is. Look, if this comic had come out last week, it would have been my pick of the week, but I'd already looked at both comics and, most of the other ones, the really good ones, and I determined that Weapons of Mass Destruction is my pick of the week. Weapons of Mutant Destruction. But this, oh my God, it's so, it was really a rough decision. It was hard making that decision between these two. This is just such an amazing comic. Guys, we get to see a really quick one-page origin of Spider-Man, and then the very next page we see Johnny Storm making fun of him for telling this story for the 1,000th time, maybe a 1,000,000th time. And yeah, because we're kind of sick and tired of hearing it. Yet at the same time, whatever. It's a quick little put it out there and just whatever. There it is. He does mention, however, that he's gotten stronger. He's gotten more powerful. Even just in the tech business alone, he's gotten a lot more affluent in his ability to take down criminals non-lethally. Nobody takes down a criminal better in a non-lethal manner than Spider-Man. This is Spider-Man who's funny again. All right. I know every so often Spider-Man will crack a joke over an Amazing, and even in the Avengers comic that he's in currently, he'll crack jokes. And my favorite part of him cracking jokes is the Wasp shutting him down, or sometimes Thor shutting him down. But here, I don't actually want him shut down necessarily, even though Ant-Man, who made an appearance in this along with Johnny Storm, they made a couple of good shutdown comments in here. Even Uatu, one of the old employees that he had back in Parker Industries before he moved out to Los Angeles. Yeah, he's in here and he gets a quick little stare shut down. Guys, they get to introduce a new character in here. And the character is the brother of the Tinkerer, which is one of the oldest villains in the Marvel Universe. And I love that Ant-Man makes the joke, Spider-Man, I think you win the record for having the most senior, meaning geriatric supervillains ever. And yeah, I never really thought about it that way. He really does. You talk about the Vulture and Doc Ock and all that. Yeah, Doc Ock has a new body, but in the meantime, he's still got an old mind. He's got an old head. So yeah, this comic is just on par with anything that's out there today. Absolutely anything. This is really good. I'm so looking forward to this story. We get to see Teresa Parker again. Yes, the sister of Peter Parker. We haven't seen her since I believe Family Business is the last time that we've ever seen her, and never heard from her again. Guys, just every single thing about this comic book is good. It's good enough that this is getting an A+. This is just such a fantastic comic. This needs to be read. I love that Chip Zdarsky throws in plethora of the narration quotes that refer back to older comic books. All right. Usually it's the editor who will do something like that. No, not here. Chip takes control of that and he just starts throwing things in there. And what does this mostly do? This is something to assure you that this writer knows who the hell he's writing about. And that's something that you can never put aside. You can never just shoo this aside. This is a writer who knows the character and characters that he's talking about. He remembered Johnny Storm burning down a bar in Daredevil, which is one of the things I was actually thinking about when they were talking about it, and all of a sudden I see the side note that refers back to that issue, and I say, that's it, done. And that was only several pages into this. This was a couple pages into this, and I said, this is a great comic book, and Chip deserves to be, you know what, honestly, just like Nick Spencer came out of nowhere, almost, relatively, with a huge event, I'm predicting it now. Chip Zdarsky is going to come out, and I hope I'm not screwing up his name, but Chip is going to come out with an amazing event that is going to be like a huge, Spider-Man-centric event one of these days. And I look forward to reading it when it happens. Also, we might see a little Riri Williams at the end of this, and that's never a bad thing. All right, guys, this review is going on way too long. All right, anyway, get this comic book. You need it. It's in my collection. Is it in yours? All right, Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.